All right, so our objective for today is we're going to be able to find the surface area of cones. And cones, again, has a circular base, and then it's pointy on the other side. So just for prior knowledge, we have our circle, and we have to figure out the area of a circle. So area of a circle, just for prior knowledge, the formula is A is equal to pi r squared, is our formula for our circles. And then you guys need the radius, but sometimes you are given a diameter. So to find the radius, you take the diameter and divide by 2. So in this case, 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. So I can see the radius is 3. And then you just go plug it in to the formula. That's the only thing you need is the radius. So if you go pi r squared, so 3 squared is 9. And 9 times pi gives you 28.3 centimeters squared. And so because we have a cone with a circular base, we are going to be finding the area of the circle. So we need the formula, okay? If we look at the net of the cone, we are going to draw the net, find the area of the side of the cone, which is called the sector, and you're going to find the circular base as well. And then you're going to add the two areas together. So because I have a sector, the area of a sector formula is this: A equals pi r L is how you calculate the sector. So remember that triangular piece with a round bottom is called a sector. It's basically it's a piece of a circle. It's like a portion of the circle. So to find the area of the portion of the circle, you use that formula pi r L. And then we have the base is going to be a circle. So our formula for the circle is pi r squared. So if I combine those together, our formula we're going to be using today is S is equal to the pi r L for the sector plus pi r squared for the circle. So this is going to be our formula for today. Pi r L plus pi r squared. Just like the cylinder is always going to be the same formula, our sector formula is always going to be the same. Pi r L plus pi r squared. Okay? All right, so let's look at our first example. Our first example here, we have a perfume bottle, it says. It's roughly shaped like a cone, and you're supposed to estimate the surface area of the perfume bottle to the nearest tenth. And so because I have a circle for my base, if we draw the net, it's going to give us a circle for the base at the bottom, and then my sides are going to be the sector. So for my sector, it's going to look like this. And then it's going to have like a round edge at the bottom. Kind of looks like a fan. And so if I look at the picture, this length on the side is, I forgot to mention, did it show here? Oh, it did. It did, but I just didn't talk about it. So the slant height is what we call L, because you know how we measure our height? We measure our height perpendicular to the ground, right? But the slant height is slanted instead. That's what's called the slant height, and we use the cursive L. I just forgot to talk about it. So on here, the 7 is actually called the slant height because it's the slanted side of the cone. So this is our 7 from on the edge. And then I have a rate, the diameter is given to me. That 5 is the diameter. So my radius, I'm going to take half of the diameter. So 5 divided by 2 is going to give us 2.5 for my radius, right? So then to find the area of the circle, I'm going to go pi r squared. So this is going to be pi times 2.5 squared. And then for my sector, it's going to be the same radius. It's going to go from here to here is the radius. So then the formula for the sector is pi RL. So we're going to take pi times the radius, 2.5, times the slant height, which is 7. And then we're going to basically add those together, okay? So for my surface area, we're going to go pi times 2.5 squared plus pi times 2.5 times 7. And you're just going to grab your calculator. You're going to type that whole thing in the calculator just like it shows up there. So pi parentheses 2.5 close the parentheses x squared plus pi parentheses 2.5 close the parentheses and then open a new parentheses 7 and close the parentheses. All right, I'm walking around to see what you guys got. Okay, 74.6. I've seen like 4 people with the same answer. Okay, good. All right, so walking around, it seems like you guys got it. So the correct or the answer to the nearest 10th is 74.6, right? What's after the 6 on the calculator? A 1? Okay, so it's going to stay 0.6. And then my units is going to be inches, but it's squared because we're looking at area. And then don't forget to write just a quick little sentence. We're going to say the surface area of the perfume bottle is about 74.6 square inches. All right, so again, if we think about what the net would look like, it's going to have the sector and then a circle for the base. And then the formula for a circle is pi r squared, and the formula for a sector is pi RL. So you just add those two together, and that gives you the total surface area. And then somebody asked me yesterday, I think, about the radius. They're like, how do you get the radius of the sector? But the radius of the sector is the same radius as the base of the circle, okay? So for radius, this r, you're going to use the same r, even though you're looking at like 2 different figures or shapes, it still has the same radius. Okay, and then again, this one has diameter, so to get the radius, you take half the diameter. If we look at our next example, though, this one has, it says a candle shaped like a cone with the given dimensions. Estimate the surface area of 10 candles, and then we're on to the nearest 10. So notice this one says 10 candles. That means at the end, we're going to take our answer, and then we're going to multiply our answer by 10, okay? Because we actually have 10 candles is what it's asking for. And then our picture, we can see it has the 3 centimeters. Is the 3 centimeters a radius or a diameter? Radius. It's a radius, right? Because it's only half of the length, so that means it's radius. And then this 30 is my slant height. That's my L. So if I look at the net, again, I have the circular base. And then I have the sector. All right, and then the formula for my circular base is going to be pi times the radius squared, so pi times 3 squared. And then I'm going to add the sector, so the sector is pi times the radius times the slant height, which is 30. So pi r squared plus pi r L. And that's going to give me my surface area for the cone, for one cone. So can you guys go put that in the calculator for me? Pi times 3 squared. So pi parentheses 3 close parentheses x squared plus pi parentheses 3 parentheses 30. Okay. Double check your answer with the person sitting next to you, in front of you, behind you. Okay, and can you guys tell me what did you get for your answer? 311? Point something? 0.01. And it keeps going? So 0.01 ... It keeps going, right? Don't round that answer. Just leave it like that on your calculator. And then you're going to multiply by 10 because it's asking us for 10 candles. So don't round until the very end. Keep that answer that's in your calculator. And then you're going to multiply by 10. Like, don't clear the calculator. Just put times 10 equals. And then what's going to be the answer? Then here is where you round it. So what did you guys get after multiplying by 10? See that? Okay. What's after the 1?
It's probably 311,
0.17. Okay. So when you multiply by 10, you'll have the 0.17. So then it's going to round to 0.2. Good. Thank you. And then our units are going to be centimeters squared. And then we're going to write our sentence. So the surface area of 10 candles is about 3,110.2 square centimeters. Thank you. Centimeters. Period. So when you guys read these problems, make sure you guys pay attention to see if you're supposed to multiply your answer. This one said 10 candles, so at the end you have to multiply by 10. And don't round until the very end. Keep your answer in the calculator. Don't round it, and then multiply by 10, and then that'll give you your final answer, and just round the final answer, okay? All right.